Lisa's sentencing.
Hello. Welcome to GNN News. We interrupt this program with some breaking news. This just in. An 18-year-old girl named Lisa Richins has just been arrested and charged for racism. She was also disowned by her parents, Sir Julian Richins and Lady Florence Richins, because she tried to kill the same girl she bullied at high school, Maya Cooper. We're going live now with reporter Tanya Goodman to speak with a few witnesses to this whole ordeal.
That's right, George. I'm standing at the street where Lisa Richings chased the victim of the crime. And right next to me are two people related to her. Would you two like to introduce yourselves to the viewers, please?
Well, to everyone watching this news flash, my name's Naomi Cooper. And standing right next to me is my youngest daughter, Richmonda Cooper. And she's also Maya's younger sister. What happened was that Maya tried to stand up to Lisa and warned her to stop bullying her, otherwise she would tell Sir and Lady Richings on her. Afterwards, Lisa tried to kill Maya. We were hoping that Lisa's parents would ground her for a very long time for trying to kill Maya, but what they actually did was disown her and turn her over to the police.
Yeah, I mean, Maya's bully may have been racist towards her as well as any other black girl who was at the same high school as her, but in retrospect, we didn't expect Lisa to get disowned by her parents. Even though we're glad that Lisa got arrested for her hand at turning Maya into a troublemaker, I don't know for sure if Lisa really deserved to get disowned.
Even after all that girl did to Maya.
Yeah. Richmonda and I were actually as surprised as anyone else could be.
Well, folks, it seems that there's a bit of conflict as to whether or not Lisa Richings deserved to get disowned by her now ex-parents. So I'm turning the camera over to Stanley now.
Thank you, Tanya. This is reporter Stanley Wheeler standing in another street with a few other people who would like to share their thoughts on Lisa Richings getting disowned. Would you like to introduce yourself to the viewers, sir?
Well, to everyone watching this news flash, my name's Miles the Beyonder and Gamer 2009. I heard that Lisa Richings got arrested and disowned for bullying Maya Cooper out of racism, and, as a black person myself, I think her ex-parents did the right thing calling the police and the justice crows on her. But, as a child myself, I can't really say the same thing about disowning her. Besides, I think Lisa needs some help and she's not in her right mind.
Okay. Thanks for your time, Miles the Beyonder and Gamer 2009. What about you, sir? What are your thoughts on Lisa Richings getting disowned?
Honestly, I think that girl deserved to get disowned cause she's as racist as my OC character, Princess Duchess. She ain't done nothing right for the black community. She treated Maya Cooper like a slave, beat her up, called her a monkey like Princess Duchess did to all the black students in her class, as well as a horse, and worst of all, she whipped Maya Cooper numerous times while riding on her back like she's doing a rodeo. Yo. That's like calling all black people animals. She's even worse than Princess Duchess. And here I thought that Princess Duchess was the most racist blonde brat in town, but no. Former Princess Lisa Richings is now the top dogging the most racist teenage princesses list. Enough said. Tez out, yo.
Okay Tez, thanks for your input. So what about you, sir? Any thoughts on the matter about Lisa Richings getting disowned and arrested?
Well, I agree that Lisa Richings should be arrested for trying to kill Maya Cooper for threatening to snitch on her. But, I think disowning her might be a bit of an overreaction. But because I'm black myself, I think that Lisa should be sent to a mental hospital because she ain't in her right mind thinking that it's okay to act racist towards Maya Cooper.
And there you have it, folks. Many black people agreed to have Lisa arrested and sentenced to life in prison and/or a mental hospital. Few agree that she should be disowned. Back to you, George.
Thank you, Tanya and Stanley. Well, folks, you all heard it. The majority of people disagree with having Lisa disowned while at the same time agreeing to have her get arrested. And in 1 week from now, Lisa will stand trial for all her hate crimes against all black students in her high school, and in particular, Maya Cooper. In other news, there is sad news to share. Honorable Judge Alfred Smith has sadly passed away at the age of 79 due to a fatal heart attack. He worked as a judge for 2 decades. Unfortunately, he had to get rushed to the hospital when he was out for a stroll. But sadly, he didn't make it in time. So in his place there's going to be a new judge in the court. The late Alfred Smith's replacement will be Judge Janine Applegate. And that's all for today from GNN News. We now return you to our regularly scheduled program. This is Anchorman George Cunningham, signing off.
1 week later, at the courthouse.
All rise for the Honorable Judge Jeannie Applegate.
You may all be seated. Alright everyone. Before we begin this trial, as some of you heard on the news, the late Alfred Smith sadly passed away due to a heart failure. And the doctors couldn't save him in enough time after getting him rushed to the hospital. May he rest in peace and heaven have mercy on his soul. But nevertheless, this will be an honor for me to take his place as the new judge for this courthouse. So now with the announcement out of the way, court is now in session. Lisa Richings, you have been charged last week for the following. Prosecutor Henry Maverick, if you would do the honors of reading the charges to the defendant.
Lisa Richings, you've been charged for committing hate crimes against teenagers roughly around your age of a different color, and aggravated assault. All in the name of racism.
How do you plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor. I was only asserting dominance as the most popular girl in my high school. I did not commit any hate crimes.
Overruled. That only proves the charge for racism and aggravated assault correct. And there's more evidence to further prove it. So, I call upon my first witness, BonQuisha.
Princess Lisa Richings is an even bigger racist than Princess Duchess could ever be. She brutally assaulted Maya Cooper out of racism, treated her like a slave, and whipped her. Therefore, I say she's guilty.
Thank you, BonQuisha. I call upon my next witness, Tariq.
I agree with what BonQuisha just said. It's bad enough she had to deal with Princess Duchess acting racist towards her and Sandra, but now Lisa Richings doing the same to Maya. That's even worse. And so is she. So to top it all off, I say that the whipping racist princess herself is guilty.
Thank you, Tariq. I call upon my next witness, Sabrina.
Princesses Lisa and Duchess have a bit in common when it comes to racial slurs. For instance, they both called their respective classmates monkeys all because they're black, and they both resort to aggravated assault in the name of racism. But as far as what Lisa did is concerned, that's even worse. She had the nerve to whip and ride Maya like a horse. Therefore, I say she's guilty.
Thank you, Sabrina. I call upon my next witness, Brenda Garver.
It's one thing for my ex-husband, Big Bill, to abuse Little Bill every chance he gets, but, as a black person myself, what Princess Lisa did to Maya Cooper was no better. Her days of enslaving all black people, especially those her age, has to stop. She needs to be locked up with the key thrown away. Therefore, I say she's guilty.
Thank you, Brenda. I call upon my next witness, Lucas West.
Maya may have grounded the whole world with Fred Michael Anderson and Natalie Thompson and made my daughter Tanya cry. But what Lisa did to her long before that was no better. In fact, it's much worse. Not even disowning the defendant could possibly teach her a lesson for treating teenagers of my color like slaves. She needs to go to a mental hospital. Besides, as a military veteran myself, I know how Boris and Tiana turned out upon getting sent to military school by their respective parents. They both turned into child abusers, and Boris's parents also disowned his brothers, Corey's and Tori's, which wasn't enough to teach them a lesson. So even though Lisa's parents disowning her didn't solve anything, I say that Lisa's guilty as charged.
Thank you, Lucas.
Objection, Your Honor. That monkey's testimony has no relevance to any accusations of racism being used against me.
You better watch it with the monkey comment, Missy. Because that's the very example of racism.
Silence. Order in the court. Order in the court. That's enough. No racial slurs allowed in this courthouse.
Doug. Fine.
Anyway, I call upon my next witness, Sally West.
Princess Lisa Richings is a psychopath, a spoiled brat, and a menace to the entire black community. She brutally assaulted Maya, whipped her, and rode her like a horse. Therefore, I say she's guilty.
Thank you, Sally. I call upon my next witness, King Simon.
Princess Lisa Richings has stooped to a level that my daughter could not. Like Princess Duchess, she has been making racial slurs towards Maya Cooper and brutally assaulting her. But the only difference between the two spoiled princesses is that Lisa whipped Maya and rode on her bloody back like a blooming horse. She is a sick, little monster. Therefore, I say she's guilty.
Thank you, Simon. I call upon my next witness, Queen Catherine.
I agree with what my husband just said. Even though we don't have the idea of disowning Princess Duchess that Lisa's parents had for her, she's even worse than our daughter. And I really believe that it's clear that Lisa is nothing more than guilty as charged.
Thank you, Catherine. I call upon my next witness, Xavier Rockwood.
Lisa Richings is a menace to all members of the black community. She's been bullying and enslaving not just Maya Cooper, but my daughter Jada too. Therefore, I say she's guilty.
What? Lisa disrespected your daughter the exact same way she did Maya. Are you serious?
Objection, Your Honor. I did nothing to Jada.
Hold your objection, Lisa. I need to hear the full story from Jada. Speaking of which, may I call her up to the stand?
Princess Lisa Richings is an even bigger psychopath than my biological mama, the great killer Luna, could ever be. She's been calling me a monkey, beating me up with a spiked bat, laughing at my misfortune due to my mama micromanaging my eating habits, and worst of all, she forced me to give her my lunch money by whipping me with the same whip she used on Maya. I'm so emotionally scarred because of her. Why?
You little snitch. How dare you?
Not so fast. You will not lay one single finger on her, you sick monster. Oh, poor Jada. Poor you. I can't believe she did that to you. I'll have to call Serge Lynn Richings to the stand.
Actually, Your Honor, my wife and I would like to testify against Lisa together. Anyway, our ex-daughter has been a disgrace to our family. She's been racist to all black students.
She's been making racial slurs at them, boasting about her superiority to all of her fellow students, beating them up, and focusing more on social media than her schoolwork.
Objection, Your Honor. My parents have been forcing me to do chores around the house on a daily basis and treating me like a slave. They've been abusing me all my life. They've been doing it to me since I was a child, and I myself have been getting made fun of by all the other students from my middle school because of them. And some of the students who made fun of me were Asian and black. I didn't want to be racist towards colored people who are my age, but my parents gave me no choice. And they had no care in the world for how hard it was for me to be a princess. They just kept on working me like a bloody dog.
Silence. You insolent little brat. Your father and I wanted you to behave properly. And yet you dare tell us we've been abusing you.
Florence, stop. What has gotten into you? We're in the courthouse.
Lynn, what did you just say?
Florence, I said stop. You're acting, after all of the sudden. You were never like this when we gave birth to Lisa.
Wait a second. Florence, why are you acting like this towards both Lisa and Julian? What's gotten at you?
You can't just hold me back from attempting to give that brat a piece of my mind. I knew from the very beginning that Lisa should never have been born from the beginning. She has been rebellious ever since she was a baby. She was never loyal the way I wanted her to be. You were too naive to see the big picture until Lisa started misbehaving.
But Florence, you said that we would teach her how to behave properly. How could you even say all those horrible things?
What the heck is going on here?
Wait a minute. Julian, am I hearing things? Because I remembered you calling my crew and the police over to place Lisa under arrest for what she did to Maya.
Florence, you lied to me. You never loved our daughter. You just wanted her out of your life.
Oh no. We've been double-crossed. Florence must have been abusing Lisa and manipulating Julian this whole time.
That's right, you foolish American. I'm the one who's been making all the rules on how to discipline our daughter. I'm the one who drove her to get made fun of by all those kids.
And you turned Lisa into a racist by doing the same sort of stuff to her that she did to all the students at her high school. Florence, how could you? You played us all.
Mark, how could you? You used my father to abuse me for your own daughter? Oh my lord. No wonder Lisa's been bullying me at school.
Shut up, all of you.
Girl 22, Greenstein, restrain the queen. The queen's got rogue.
Stop where you are.
Unhang me. You can't do that. You can't just turn on me.
I've seen enough. Crowgirl 22 and Green Spy, stand down for just a moment. From what I just witnessed, new evidence has come to light. Henceforth, Lady Florence Richings, for spousal and authority manipulation and child abuse, I hereby find you guilty. And even though I also find the defendant for this trial guilty of racism, you two will each be given a different sentence. Lisa, you'll be sentenced to life in prison with parole. And as for you, Florence, you'll be sentenced to life in prison without parole. And if Lisa behaves while in prison, she will be released early. Case dismissed.
You ruined everything.
Take them away.
This is
Please,
not over, Glenn.
Don't put me in the
I will
same
have my
prison as my
revenge.
mom.
I will
She'll
make
kill
you
me no
the
matter
Justice
where I am.
Crows and our
I
daughter
don't
suffer.
want to stay in prison
Every
with
one
her.
of you. You have not heard the last of me.
I guess Lisa's not the only one who needs help. Apparently so does Florence.
Justice Crows, I'm so sorry for all of this. I can't believe my own wife manipulated me this whole time. I didn't realize the woman I married was actually a child abuser.
It wasn't your fault, Sir Julian. We were all tricked.
She's right, Glenn. Justice can sometimes be blind as to who the real villain is.
Well folks, as you all witnessed, we were hoodwinked. I feel guilty enough to admit this, but Lisa's racist behavior stemmed from the way her mother's been treating her. Though Lisa's father initially helped her mother disown her for all the stuff she did to Maya, he was tricked by her mother this whole time. So Julian will have to file a divorce, and hopefully Lisa will be reunited with her father and see the error of her ways too. As for us, the Justice Crows and I are deeply sorry for everything that just happened. See you next time.